Oh, stupid Mac computer. Hey everybody, Captain JGB84, talking about the newest episode, Legend of Korra, The Legend of Korra, Book 4, Balance, Episode 8, Remembrance. Fuck this episode. I'm serious, fuck this episode. Look, anyone who knows me well enough that I hate anime. There's maybe like 3 or 4 actual animes that I actually enjoy, but for the most part, I hate anime. Why do I hate anime? Because I can hardly think of any. I can think of maybe a few animes that really just insult its audience. And shit like clip shows are why. I think they just insult to their audience. I mean, all right, let's put on the fair card here. Apparently, Mike and Brian said that. They said that the reason this episode happened, was because their budget was being ever so slashed, just ever so much, enough that they either had to do just a clip show or they had to fire a bunch of crew. Quick question. Question one. Why not just have one less episode this season? I know you already said 13, but come on. I know we're fans and we're not usually understanding, but I'm pretty sure we could come to some understanding. Anyways, the episode, but to be fair, the last third of this episode is really where things get good. Anyways, it's a fucking clip show. I'm gonna keep going on that tangent because, especially with something like Avatar and Legend of Korra, which aren't anime, yeah, you could sit there going all day going, oh, it's anime influenced and whatnot, but no, it's not anime. It's American made. It doesn't overstay its welcome, and it's not needlessly padded out like every other friggin' anime ever made. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, the episode itself. It's a clip show told from 3 perspectives: Mako's perspective, Korra's perspective, and Bolin and Varric's perspective. More so Varric's perspective. Anyways, Prince Wu is staying with Mako's family, and it occurs to Prince, and Mako's teaching him how to fight, but it occurred to Prince Wu that he doesn't actually know anything about Mako. So Mako basically, Mako brings up the point saying, "Oh yeah, I was once with Korra," and then of course it goes into basically the entire since episode 1, season 1, of how he met Korra, how they got together, and all that jazz. Which also brings up a good point in that while I do think Mako and Korra make a good couple, the one thing that realized that was really highlighted in this is that we never actually saw their relationship. Like, in the sense that between season 1 and season 2, there were 6 months. What happened in those 6 months exactly? We never saw that, because I always wondered, cause that's why I think season 1 and season 2, with the romance aspect, just it falls apart. In that book 1 was getting them together. Book 2 had them break up, almost right at the start. So it really was kind of like, well, what's the point? Though it is good to know that he still misses Korra in that sense. What is also kind of funny is that when he's telling the story through the the reused footage and whatnot, there's little South Park-esque heads that just sort of they just kind of pop in places, and it's just they're just going on saying their thing, but they're kind of South Park-esque in that when they shut their eyes, it's like a big X on their head. It's kind of funny. They just kind of go pop when they pop in. Anyways, from Korra's perspective, while the show's creators are still trying to make Korra Sami an actual thing, Korra is reflecting on all the villains and all her, I guess, failures or defeats or whatnot. And this actually does have a bit of plot progression. And that after she does that, she brings up the point saying Toph said, what is the Avatar needed for when you think about it? Saying that, you're never going to stop crime. You're never going to stop trouble. The world's never going to come to a perfect balance. Unless, my theory about this season is correct. And then Tenzin comes in and says, well, that's exactly why. We can never achieve full balance, but we can at least come close, really. That's what the Avatar is needed for. That's the only bit of actual plot progression we get. And since the Battle of Zaofu episode, nothing's really happened. We've had 2 episodes where, yeah, nothing's happened. Korra's gone back to Republic City, but he hasn't talked about her defeat, her, like, reflecting on anything. Even when she's talking to, like, Asami about all her defeats, she doesn't bring up Kuvira at all. So it's kind of like, what? So yeah. But yeah, the bits of Tenzu was the only real progression, really. But now, actually, this part was funny. Varric is going on about, like, everything that happened from his perspective since Book 2, and he's gonna make it a mover with Nuktuk, or Bolin as Nuktuk, or Nuktuk as Bolin. I don't know, one or the other. I think this is sort of satirizing what Hollywood does to actual true stories, and that they just jumble everything up, shove as much as they can for dramatic effect and whatnot. Because this is pretty funny. He has he has Zahir make a phone call to Vatu, and Vatu makes a phone call to Amon, and Amon makes a phone call to Unalak. And like it's all done with the same like actors and whatnot. So like Steve Bloom and Jeffrey Rollins and all that. Yeah, it's like all done with that. It's really funny. And even the show itself admits that Unalak was a terrible villain, which I must admit is pretty like, yeah. And he quotes The Dark Knight. He says the line, "The night is darkest just before the dawn." Like he basically says that, like a bit of paraphrasing, but he basically says that, and I'm like, wow. So, yeah. But that's funny, and Bolin at the end's like, but none of that actually happened, and they're still on the boat with all those like refugees. And the one guy who's voiced by Steve Bloom, he's like, it's just a mover. Don't read into it too much. Which I'm like, yes. And that's how the episode ends. So yeah, nothing happened, and yeah, it's a fucking clip show. I don't like clip shows because one, it feels insulting to the audience, I find, really, and the viewers. It's just like, really, have they not caught up? Have they not been paying attention? Like, I know Naruto is just infamous for that, which is why I think Naruto can go fuck itself half the time. Oh, come on, don't give me any of that. You know I'm right. Yu-Gi-Oh! Did that quite a bit. How convenient. A few days ago, the newest Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged episode came out, and it was basically like, the clip show of all of like season 2 and season 3. Yeah, and this episode just came out. I mean, like just days ago, like the 17th or something. This is pretty convenient, I must say, and they kept poking fun of the fact that it's a clip show. So it was a short episode too. So, but yeah, of my least favorite Korra episodes, this is number 1. Just there's no, yeah. I don't know, like, what's going on, really? I mean, what's the need to, like, pad it out? Like, I get they're pushing for a big finale that supposedly might be 4 parts long. I mean, well, that'd be, like, episode 10, 11, 12, 13. You still have they're on episode 8 now, so that'd be episode 9. So something's going to happen in episode 9 that'll be sort of like the prelude to it. Unless they're going to do a 5-part finale, because... Yeah, okay, now with the comparison with Ember Island Players. Ember Island Players was also a clip show, but it did it from just such a funny and unique way, like the characters themselves seeing it all play out to, I guess, almost how a parent would see it or something, or just like, but just in a funny way, almost to the point where, like, I don't know, it was poking fun at, theater trends, both, like, past and modern, so... I guess I kind of liked it for that. But I guess I was just expecting, I don't know, just more from a show like this. I mean, yeah, Korra has, like, been put back on track for the last 2 seasons now. Or, like, 2.5 seasons. Because the second half of season 2 is where things get good. But, Um, but yeah, it just I don't know why couldn't they have found some better way to do it or something? I don't know. Um, but yeah, I still want some follow up to that whole like she was defeated by Kuvira. Kuvira's harvesting the vines and whatnot. So yeah, I still want follow up to that. But who knows if we actually get it or not. But I think we should. I think Korra should kick Kuvira's ass because well, she has to. She lost the first fight. Now she has to win the second fight. So, but yeah, I mean, it does. It the last third of the episode is funny. So I don't know. I was just hoping for a little more. I mean, but whatever. All right. So as it stands, is my least favorite episode. Pretty mixed because episode 2, Korra alone, is my favorite episode of Legend of Korra, and now we have my least favorite episode. So. Hmm. Hmm. But that's all I have to say, and now I have to play this bad boy. So see you later.